This episode, the Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey returned to the Joe Rogan Experience and brought his executive, Vijayagade, who I think won American Idol Season 2 runner-up, to debate journalist Tim Pool on some of Twitter's policies. Rogan was heavily criticized for Dorsey's first appearance, with many believing Rogan did not ask hard enough questions or cite specific examples of Twitter's perceived bias. I didn't see the first episode, so I don't know about that. That's just what was written on this page here. But I thought Tim Pool did a good job of expressing the thoughts of a lot of people. You know, and I think in the end, a lot of it just comes down to, you know, a lot of media is just is liberal. It's very liberal, and it's very forward thinking, and it's this, you know, one love, and we can't say anything bad, and you know, but a lot of media is based out of places where that type of living is more of a reality. And when you get into other places, they're the life there and the reality isn't the same. But if you try to share your reality from those places, then that is looked at as being, you know, it's all labeled as conservative now, or it's, you know, it's some of it is labeled as racist, and some of it is labeled as sexist, and and some things it's a mix of things. It's a mix of traditionalism. It's trying to express that there is racism, that they do have that fucking sugar racism out there in a lot of directions. You know, you got Latinos and blacks and whites and whites and whites and blacks and whites and Latinos, and you got fucking everybody wondering what Patrick Mahomes, you know, what is he? You know, everybody, it's just, but it's like you got, and it's just, to me, it seems like one part of the country just can't share their reality, and one part of the country, you know, shares this like ideology. And the problem is there's just two different realities going on in America, I think. Or there's more than two. There's a bunch. But a lot of the media so far has been based out of places where a lot of the reality is the same. But I think that's what you start to see now that's different. And I think you're going to get to better conversations when more realities have a voice. And Twitter is really, I mean, it's a lot of extremists on there. I mean, the only reason you can go to Twitter, I think, is if you really keyed up to try to see a titty or something, or if you want to really argue with people, or just sometimes before bed, I'll say something fucked up on Twitter and just like throwing a rock into a fucking hallway of people that don't like rocks, and I'll just go to bed, bro, and just laugh. It's an instigator's paradise. If you like just bullshitting, you know, if you like to leave a turd near the fucking caviar, bruh, then Twitter is your place to be, man. They got some dude, yeah. Excuse me. It's bananas out there. I think it's hilarious. I think it is absolutely hilarious. But I think it's a good episode if you want to, you know, everybody has some of their favorite Joe Rogan episodes, and that's one of mine, man. And Joe Rogan's got the best. He's just a curious listener. He's a curious man, and he's active. And but I thought it was great. I thought this was great. I thought Dorsey was he come across a little soft to me, but that's my thought. But I think that there is a curbing of ideas, or not ideas, but even the desire to discuss like realities in some parts of America. Traditional views are looked at or immediately labeled a certain way. Because look, I think it would be great if everybody could live in a place. I don't think anybody doesn't want to live in a place where everybody gets along and everybody is healthy and contributing. I feel like that's everybody's goal. I feel like everybody, and I believe that everybody can be helped, except for some people cannot be helped. Some people at some core place in themselves, they do not want to help themselves. They do not want to contribute. They do not want to, they really don't want things to be good. I think it's few, but I think that but I believe that most people can be helped. All of us, including myself. Fuck yeah. Do you know my fuck? I need it, dude. I'm fucking. If anybody's always waving the hell flag, it's your boy. But I thought this was interesting. I do think that, and when you start to temper that people can't share what their reality is and what their life is because it just doesn't fit with what somebody else's life is, and that person has more ability to, has like, if one person has a bigger projector and they're able to say, okay, this is my life, this is the world, this is the way it is. And a guy over here who probably wants the same life that this other person have with the big projector is running that old school projector where they got to spin it with their hand. And they're saying, but that's not the truth, man. That's not the truth. Don't you see? I'm showing you that that's not the truth here. And then they start to tell the man with the little projector, you're not allowed to use those projectors anymore. Or we're not letting those projections, we're not even letting you show these images or these ideas or even discussions in this bigger projector universe. It's scary. I just don't think it just because it doesn't help. It doesn't help us get our voices out. It doesn't help people get there. It doesn't help anybody get there because there's no discussion. So I thought that's some of the stuff that I took from it. I would have liked to have seen more. I think the Tim Pool guy was interesting. I think, and also you don't know sometimes if these people go in interviews and they say there's things that they don't want to talk about. Obviously, Jack Dorsey, the guy, he's an innovator. He's an innovator. But yeah, if you want to watch a neat episode and see, if people's voices are getting curbed in those places or what your thoughts are on it. But Tim Pool, man, he showed up with a lot of every time something's wrong. He showed up with a lot of points, and he was poignant. You could feel his thoughts. I'm not saying that I'm buying his fucking, nudie calendar or anything like that, but I'm saying that you could feel that the man had done his homework. He came correct.